at the workshop now. I'm at the workshop. So just heading down over to the work area. So hold on a second. Whoa, what do we got going on here? It looks like a kaleidoscope show. Hey, Dr. Singer. Thanks for getting everything set up. I was running a little bit late, but our customer is from Georgia, so I'm gonna change the setting just a little bit, because right now we got like a reggae kaleidoscope show going on, and it just doesn't quite fit our customer down in that real wonderful southern state. So hold on a second. Let me kind of tweak things just a little bit. But thank you for getting everything set up. I love it. Oh, that's kind of cool too. Did you look over the side, Dr. Singer? Holy mackerel, that is something. That is something. Don't stir it too long, Dr. Singer. You're going to go blind. Seriously. All right, come on. All right, let me get some lights on. And we'll just change the format of the music just a little bit. No, I like this music a lot. You already know that. I love this. I love reggae music. Oh yeah, I should show that. That's a good idea. That's a good idea, Dr. Singer. I'll put those out. We'll share that with the folks. There, see, you had a chance to listen to that last part of the song, so you didn't miss anything, Dr. Singer. You didn't miss anything. No, that's a really good idea. I'll set these mugs out. We'll kind of show those mugs. I might have a third mug as well. Let me take a look here. Oh. Well, I hope you folks are doing well, continuing to do well. I'm not sure how busy it is in your neck of the woods, but it's been real busy here at the workshop. And I'm just going to show some mugs that I recently got. Also, we'll change our music just a little bit. Get us more in a southern type flavor and flair. So as most of you know, we do impromptu contests on a regular basis, and I wanted to offer something a little bit different. So I picked up these cool sewing mugs. And before we know it, we're going to be going into fall and then ultimately winter, whatever winter looks like for you. So I'm going to be offering these mugs also as part of a giveaway opportunity. I think I got those lined up right now. So this first one, you can read it readily. It says, the mug belongs to a sewing addict, warning, conversation, liable to include sewing. That's cute. And we got this thing's good things come to those who sew. I think that's what it says. Yep. And then this last one, if I'm holding a seam ripper, now is not a good time. That's probably my favorite. But at any rate, yeah, watch for impromptu contests. These mugs will be one of the opportunities that you can pick as far as a gift. I usually pick the gift for the person, but I thought I would give you some control in saying, hey, I'd love to get that Sewing Addict mug, or I'd like to get that Good Things Come to Those Who Sew mug, or hey, do you have any of those Seam Ripper mugs left? And that way you can kind of pick your own gift and kind of anticipate what you're going to be getting. Does that make sense? All right, so let me set these to the side. Otherwise, like when that wasp got into the workshop, you're going to hear something crash and break, and then there'll be one less mug available. So what do we have going on today? Well, we're having an unboxing, and I should probably take this chewing gum out of my mouth so I can actually talk. And this particular machine is coming from, I'd love to tell you it's coming from Hartwell, Georgia, which is where the customer is from. Hartwell, Georgia is in the northern part of the state, is what Ann Bender told me. And Ann Bender is the one that sent this machine to the workshop. And it's going to receive some pretty comprehensive services. It's going to receive some new paint. It's going to receive decals. It's going to receive a mechanical, electrical restoration in that. But I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. Kind of like I've done in the past, where we do the unboxing, and then as it begins to unveil, you can toss out some guesses as to what you think it is. And I may make that an impromptu contest, so that even during this premiere, you might have the possibility to win one of those mugs that you just saw. You'll be able to pick the one that you want. You'll have first dibs on it. But what I was starting to move towards is Ann Bender lives in Hartwell, Georgia. But the closest UPS store that is near her home is in another state. It's not that far away. I think she said it's probably about a 30-minute drive or something like that. But guess where it is? Guess where it is? And any of you that are even semi-savvy will right away recognize this name. Can you see it? I'm not talking about the UPS store 1951, Suite D, 3300 North Main Street, but Ann had to travel into South Carolina in order to ship her machine to the workshop, and she went to Anderson, South Carolina. Well, as most of you know, and I shared it with her on the phone today when we had a brief conversation, Anderson, South Carolina was one of the major hubs for Singer. And that should give you a big clue that the machine that we're going to unbox today is in fact going to be a Singer. I know that doesn't give you much to chew on, but that will at least tell you that the machine was made by Singer. It gives you something, you know what I mean? It's more than you had before. And as you may have been able to see, I always mark my boxes when they arrive at the workshop. This box has been here for a while. It arrived all the way back in May 20th. So that gives you an idea of how busy and how hectic things have been around here, that we're only getting to Ann Bender's unboxing now, and it's been sitting here for a number of weeks. And just gives you an idea of the tempo of things here right now. Between Dr. Singer, myself, and the King of Sweden, we are hippity-hopping trying to keep up with all the machines that are coming into the workshop, which we are glad to have that problem. I'll always accept that problem readily. But it does throw us behind the curve just a little bit. So without further ado, let me grab a quick drink of water while I put on some more Southern style music. At least that's the way YouTube labels it. And then, then we will launch into this unboxing for our customer, Ann Bender, out of the great state of Georgia, specifically Hartwell, Georgia. But the machine inside that was shipped from one of the biggest hubs Singer ever had in Anderson, South Carolina. I think that's kind of fun. I almost kind of like want to wipe the box off and get a little bit of that Anderson, South Carolina dirt off of the box, you know, as microscopic as it may be, so I can put it into a jar and say, I've got a little bit of Anderson, South Carolina in the workshop now. But I don't need to do that because we've got this whole box in the workshop right now. So I'll put on some fun music to get us going. This one, you've heard this before, I think. The first one that I just played is called Willie's Sunnyside, and this next one is called Barnyard Surprise, and you've heard this one before. All right, let's get unboxing this machine so you can begin to toss out some guesses as to what you think it is. And I'm pretty sure that Ann is going to be attending this premiere, and Ann, you're welcome to field questions as people toss out guesses. Don't give them the answer, but you can let them know if they're getting warmer, okay? Yeah, I can see this was packed by UPS. This is their double boxing method. See how that box is on the inside of the other box? And they've done a pretty decent job of filling that cavity around this box. You can kind of see that. They've stuck this this bubble pack stuff around it so that that box wasn't bouncing around a lot and shifting around inside of the other box. So that's good. Alright, so we've already gotten to the inside box. I'm going to toss in another song for us. And we'll keep on moving forward with this unboxing so you folks can toss some guesses out. So again, that last one we just played is called Barnyard Surprise. And now we're going to put on something called Everything You Wanted. And it's labeled rock, but it's under country. Or it's under southern, I should say. So let's see what this one sounds like. And this box is not a super heavy corrugated box like a lot of the UPS ones are. This is a little bit lighter, and you can tell because I can put my hands on the inside, and I'm fairly strong, but when I can do something like this, you can see that that's fairly thin cardboard that they use, so nothing comparable to my packing method where we use that exterior shell of the tote to really provide some good protection and shock resistance. Alright, I'm going to set this to the side and then we'll move this outside box to the side. And they did have a little padding on the bottom as well. Not a lot, but, and this is actually flat. These, probably from the weight of the box, these bubbles have all popped. And that's the only problem with some of these chamber-style padding bubbles is if one bubble pops, they're all linked together, and so you lose all the protection if just one is compromised. And that's kind of what happened on this bottom cushion, is one of them probably popped, and then all of them go out. So here's our inner box now, and you can tell readily that what UPS elected to do, and there's nothing wrong with this as long as they've done a good job of padding it. Instead of packing the machine vertically standing like I typically do, they laid it on its side and have packed it in this inner box. So we'll see how they did. And just to show you real quick, with this X-Acto knife that I use, I can set the depth of the cutting, and I usually will set it fairly short so that I'm not cutting through too deep when I cut it. And you can lock it in place if you have one similar by just turning this little yellow knob, and then it locks it at that depth so that it doesn't go any deeper. That way you can kind of protect what's out of view underneath. And after all, you don't need a lot of cutting depth to get through the tape that's holding the lid down on this. Yeah, I would assume that UPS gets all of their boxes from the same supplier, that they would have like a national contract. But I've seen a lot of variation in the quality of the corrugation of the boxes when customers elect to have UPS ship their sewing machines. So maybe they don't have a national contract, maybe they negotiate it state to state or region to region. It's hard to say. Okay, so that last one was called Everything You Wanted. And this next one is called An Army of None. An Army of None. We'll see what this one sounds like. So again, they use the same kind of padding around this inner box to kind of limit the movement of the machine, which is good. And then we have what looks like holiday wrap on the inside for Halloween or something like that. Have to figure out which end is up, and then we'll go to this next level. And if you're curious, when I get boxes like this, I generally will just recycle them. I don't reuse them because I'm not unless I'm shipping something small like a motor or some part or something like that, I generally never use cardboard. So. Trying to figure out which end is up on this padding over here. All right, I think I got it. I think I have it figured out. Maybe. I think I have it figured out. All right, let's start working on this. Yeah, I guess that was rock style, but it didn't have a heavy rock beat to it, did it? So that again was called An Army of None, and the next one, and I think I played this one before, it comes up on a couple of different genre type searches. It's called Swampland. Still deciding if I have this facing the right way. So again, if you have any guesses, feel free to toss the guesses out. If Ann is in attendance, then she'll let you know if you're warm or cold. See, now I have this facing the wrong way. Let's start it like this. So the UPS store out of Anderson, South Carolina, all in all has done a very good job so far, in my opinion. They've done a real decent job in packing, so Ann can certainly give that feedback to them, just to let them know that unlike a lot of the UPS stores that have done a not so great job, they seem to have done an excellent job in trying to protect her machine. Okay, so the last one was called Swampland, like I said, and this next one is called Backwoods Barbecue. Backwoods Barbecue. Kind of makes you hungry a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm seeing those briquettes. Glowing orange. Some good meat on top of there, dripping down into there. Oh yeah, I'm at the barbecue. I don't know about you. I'm definitely at that barbecue. Well, what Ann may have told me regarding the model that she was sending may not be correct, because this is not looking at all what I expected. So we are both going to be surprised as we unveil this. Yeah, this is not the make and model that Ann told me she was sending. I wonder if she changed her mind and decided to send this in lieu of the other model, because yep, this is not even close to the model that she told me she was sending. Not even close. Alright, let me put on a little bit more music as I look in bewilderment at this machine that Ann has shipped. Wow. This doesn't happen very often. Usually customers will tell me the make and model and they're spot on. But this is nothing close to a Singer 1591, which is what Ann said she was sending to me. So, alright, this next one is called Triumph on the Prairie. Triumph on the Prairie. I like the harmonica, don't you? Oh, yep. The spoon style light assembly, like you'll see the aftermarket ones for the Singer 192K, the Spartan. So I don't know if, I'm not looking at the chat, I don't know if anybody has tossed out a guess, but this body design is going to be really, really close to the machine that I recently showed you. And I don't think I can get to it because I've got all the packing material there. But yeah, it's going to be really, really close to that machine. I would say, matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can get that other machine. I'll put on some more music for you. I'm going to move these boxes so I can get past this packing gauntlet that I've created. Goodness. I have a lot more space in this workshop than I had in my old workshop, but I'll tell you one thing, it is tight space when you get a lot of packing material floating around. Okay, so that last one was called Triumph on the Prairie, and this next one is going to be a rock funky style. It's called Crush. And I'll be gone for a second because I'm going to grab that other machine that I just recently showed you guys on Facebook. Okay, so I'm going to put Ann's off to the side here, and I'm going to put mine next to it, the one that I just showed you. They're going to be real close, real close. Slightly different decal set, obviously, but well, there you can see it. Those two machines side by side. Do you see the similar characteristics to them? Very similar. As a matter of fact, let me come off the tripod. We'll get a little bit closer to them, and you can kind of look at them up close and personal. But Ann, I can tell you that this is definitely not a Singer 1591. I'm not sure where you got that from, but so here's Ann's machine right here, and it's hard to see because the branding is gone on it, but I'm going to guess, based on the spacing in that this was also made by the New England company. I think a number of folks that posted about it said that National Sewing Machine Company may have had a hand in it, but you can look at the attributes of this machine, the balance wheel style, the clutch setup and everything, the track for the belt. And then look at mine. Identical. Absolutely identical. And look at across the top of the machine, the design setup for presser foot pressure and for the needle bar as well. Over here. And across the top of the machine, the way it's conformed and designed, even down to this right here. And then look at my machine. Then we'll go to the faceplate. We'll look at mine first. There's our faceplate layout. All the way down to the cover for the bobbin. And it swings in a very unique way out like this. Now let's look at Ann's. Identical. All the way down to this. So we have the same maker involved in this, and you can even see here by the front of the machine where the take-up arm would be, and it's identical. Same type of setup here, same type of setup here, exactly identical. Yeah, it's just going to have a slightly different, the arm is going to be formed a little bit differently. You notice that this arm here is kind of squared, and on my machine it's got more of a contour line to it. Coming down like this, it's not squared off on the bottom. So same type of bobbin winder as well. Same type of tensioning area for winding up a bobbin. No, I stand corrected, actually stitch length. I'm sorry. This is our stitch length controller here. And we're going to have the identical stitch length controller on this one as well. Mine's a little stiffer. Takes a little bit more to move it at this point because I haven't done anything to it. Same oiling point here, same serial number, location, design, oiling point, serial number, location, design. Even the same bed split. You basically have two bed sections that are put together to form the entire bed. That's the seam right there. You see that all the way across? Same seam right here. So I'm going to invite even the same threader here for winding a bobbin. So I'm going to certainly open up the opportunity. If anybody wants to try to guess this make and model, it clearly is not a Singer-made model, as I was led to believe based on what the customer had told me prior to shipping. It is something very comparable to the one that I just introduced to you on Facebook. Almost kind of a before and after. Hey, here's what it looked like. Oh, wow, it's horrible. Hey, wow, that's beautiful. No, but they're going to be by the same maker. And I could try to, this is all kind of credit up. It's obviously a US made machine, but even zooming in on that, it's not going to help us much in being able to read it because it's kind of junked up right now. But it definitely is a machine that was made by, they call it private branding. Private branding is where a larger company will help smaller companies that may not have the resources to get all the tooling and all the machinery that they need to do their own manufacturing, but they have a machinery design that they want to do. They have a concept, and so that that larger company will step in and say, well, we've got all the equipment, we can just do a little bit of retooling and we can make your product. And that's what they did with Ann's on the right. And that's what they did with mine on the left. Is a larger company stepped in and said to the folks that were wanting to brand it a New England Queen Rotary, yeah, we can do that for you. Well, we'll take care of that, and you won't have all the overhead costs. You won't have all the setup. You won't have to invest, you know, back then probably hundreds of thousands of dollars instead of millions of dollars to do all the tooling type stuff to design a machine like mine on the left or Ann's on the right. So it's not a bad approach. We even have a lot of private branding going on now. Larger companies will make multiple products for different businesses, and they'll put that business name on the product that they've made. So nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Other than the price point, obviously, and probably the contracting as well that they require for something like that. So this completes what is a surprise unboxing for me as well, because the machine that Ann ultimately has sent me is very, 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 very different from what I expected. So we all can be surprised sometimes. And me giving you the clue of it somehow being associated with Anderson, South Carolina has proven to be very, very inaccurate at this point. So, but this is a project that I will probably continue to march forward with. I will have to have some conversation with the customer, because when I quote out a project for a comprehensive restoration, when I quote out a project and the customer gives me the make and model of the machine, that weighs heavily into the price that I quote them for that project. And anticipating a Singer 1591 compared to the machine that is now sitting before us on the right there, which is a near carbon copy of the machine that I have on the left. The work that has to go into a machine like this because of the decaling pattern, if this pattern on the right is even available, it complicates things quite a bit. I'm just scrolling something on my phone real quick to see if I can find something. Well, I hope you folks are still doing well. I really appreciate all of the interaction on Facebook, and those of you that are just YouTubers probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but I do a lot of progress shots and updates on Facebook, and customers will jump in and they will interact with the post. They'll share comments, they'll share reactions and that sort of thing, and that's a huge encouragement to me. That's why I really do like the format of Facebook. It gives a lot of opportunity for interaction. It gives a lot of opportunity for posting still shots and just giving people an understanding and an appreciation for the depth of the work that I do on the machines, compared to other folks out there that are doing or trying to do similar work. So, apart from suspecting that the machine that Ann Bender from the great state of Georgia, specifically Hartwell, Georgia, has ultimately sent to the workshop, which is not a Singer 1591, in all likelihood has a birthplace from that larger company that manufactured it on behalf of this smaller company, blah, blah, blah. It has roots probably that lead it back to the National Sewing Machine Company. And Jody Kezek, a wonderful customer friend of mine out in California, had posted something like that, similar to my machine on the left. National Sewing Machine Company has roots, as some of you know, in the land of Lincoln, Belvidere, Illinois. And they operated, well, probably starting around the 1890s, going all the way into the 1900s. So both of these machines are going to be from, likelihood the early 1900s, 1908, 1910, somewhere around there. And I'll see what I can do. I'll follow up with the customer now that I've actually done the unboxing and I see what she sent. And we'll see what's available out there. We may have to go with a similar decal type set if we can find it, or we may have to go another direction. So there you got it. Another successful unboxing. And again, kudos to the UPS store out of Anderson, South Carolina. I think they did a really, really good job. I think other UPS stores across the country should follow their lead and see the way they did it compared to the way we've seen some other machines arrive at the workshop that have also been packed by UPS stores. And I get it. All the UPS stores are franchised. They're all owned by independent owners. But when you buy a franchise, you're supposed to follow certain standards. And I think, maybe I'm wrong, I think that should go down to when you're doing a lot of shipping out of that location, what your packing method, what the best practice agreed upon by the company is that those franchisees should be following. Because right now, I can tell you from what I've seen in the workshop and what I've seen arrive here, they are not all on the same sheet of music, not even close. But the Anderson, South Carolina UPS store, they're doing it right. They're right on target as far as what I would expect to be seeing with a quality packing job. So feel free to do some more research. I kind of showed you, I didn't show you the back of these machines though, did I? I showed you mine on the back, I think, but let me turn these around so you can see the back as well. And that may or may not aid you in posting a guess. Yeah, it's probably not going to help much. It's not going to help you much in guessing what this model is that in all likelihood was put out by the National Sewing Machine Company out of Illinois. So there you can see the back as well. I don't think it's very helpful, but I'll zoom in on it nonetheless and see if you can guess any better looking at it. The only difference between mine and that one is that mine obviously has had a little bit more cleanup on it. Not a huge amount, as you can see. All right, well, like I said, another successful unboxing where I should probably have a clue what's going to be popping out of that box, other than bugs and creepy stuff like that. I am totally stymied. I'm totally caught by surprise. So, Ann, I'll be reaching out to you so we can discuss this project anew, as I now see a very different machine before us. All right, y'all take care, and remember, you're never old until regrets take the place of your dreams, so hang on to your dreams, and even better, take action on them. All right? Stay tuned for other great unboxings like this, where not only you, but maybe I'll be surprised as well. Take care.